In this episode, I bring together two athletes, two in contrasting sports, contrasting paths, but with mirroring passion, and I would love to give you insight into this. Theo Baffoe is someone who I'll call a Southwark legend. If you're under 30 and played within the local areas of Tabard and Hatfields, you know Theo. A silky footballer that in his youth made a number of clubs turn their heads, but prioritised faith and his journey in God over sporting endeavours. He has grown to find a balance now, and at 26, married, still in faith and senior in his professional career, as well as juggling the business, he's on his way to making a successful return to the top level of football. Chris Kongo, on the other hand, has boxing in his blood, coming from boxing heritage with his immediate family all involved in the sport. Chris has grown to become the prince of boxing in his family, and he is as confident as they come. He developed his reputation of being fast and slick, a reputation that has lived with him to this day, as he is now crowned Chris Too Slick Kongo. I have known Theo for many years, and I was told about Chris and his slickness years before we met. It was only right that I had a chat with them both, and in Southwark, an area that they both grew up in, about their current endeavours and their process.
I won't let you fade away. Brains on the motorway. Yeah, we gon' see another day. Y no te borro como lápiz. Tú eres tu único papi.
Welcome to Trust the Process. Your host Sanchez, and I'm here with two gents that I know personally. Firstly, Theo Baffoe, good to see you, my man, and Chris. Let me introduce you both. So Chris, you are a welterweight boxer. You're 10-0, and we'll talk a little bit more about your journey into where you are now. And in Theo, you are, I call Theo, funny enough, a legend, a Southwark legend as a footballer. A lot of people will know who you are if they live around in the area, and you're getting back into the scene right now. Yeah. So it'll be good to talk about that as well. But let's just start off with yourself. So you've been in the boxing game for quite a while, and what I already know of you, and the viewers might not know, that you're coming from a heritage of boxing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I first got into boxing with my two brothers. They started before me, and I just started seeing myself getting into it, just going to the gym, and not even that. When I was at the gym, I started at Fisher ABC. They had like a youth club downstairs, so it was better I was there than anywhere on the streets. So it was better I started there, and then from then I just got into training, and next thing you know, 2-3 years down the line, I had my first actual bout, my first fight, and I was 11 years old. Until now, 26, I'm a pro, 10-0, undefeated, and the journey's been a hard one, but we're there.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like for me, I'm grooming in boxing. Is boxing at 11 something that's unheard of?
Is boxing what, sir?
At 11 years old, unheard of.
No, that's normal. That's normal. If you want to bring a child into boxing, I think the ages of 7 and 8 are the times where certain gyms allow them to come, have a look, have a play around, have a muck about, and then at the age of 10, they start getting serious, and then 11, they're ready to get in the ring.
Got you. And that name rings a bell because I feel like when we've known each other, you mentioned like Fisher Athletic a few times. Yeah. Was that linked in any way, shape or form?
I don't know if the boxing and the football's linked, but I think, but they're all still under the same umbrella.
Did you play
Fisher, Sunday League. Yeah.
So if I was to ask you how you first met Chris, how did you first meet?
Chris, so Chris is in secondary school, and we just clicked, from like the first day we just clicked. We just kind of formed our own kind of group, maybe because we're all from South London, all from local area, so we just clicked. And then I've met him in school, so year 7.
One of the most important or big phrases that we all heard when we were growing up is that not everyone makes it, and we've heard that. I was someone that tried to pursue sports myself, so there has to be something about you. What do you think it is about you that's got you to where you are now?
I think definitely my dedication and determination has got me where I am today, and just the key to boxing is listening, having good ears, knowing when to do something, when not to do something, and
To your coach, I'm
assuming? In training and in the ring.
Yeah.
So for me, as soon as my coach says something, I have to do it, because if he says and I do, it works. So he's the third eye. He can see what I can't see, basically. So for me, the key to boxing is just definitely listening.
That's kind of deep enough still. And for you now, unfortunately, we don't even have enough time to go through your step-by-step journeys. You pursued football, if I was to summarise, and then, you grew into faith, and faith became more of a priority. Am I right to say that? Or, yeah. And you kind of reverted back now. What's made you want to come back and get back into the sport?
Just the passion and the love for the game, really. When it's something you love, as much as you can try and avoid it, you end up coming back to it. So, just the passion for the game. I love football. It's been my passion since young, and
Yeah. If I was to then ask you, like, if you've had any almost struggles in terms of, you always think, we always had that thought we had to even make it before 18. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what's made you overcome that mindset where it's not too late?
Obviously, I'm a firm believer in speak it, believe it, receive it. So in life, anything's possible. You know what I mean? With the right amount of dedication, anything's possible. So like the kind of goals I'm setting for myself is not necessarily to go pro like next year or whatever, but just to do the best I can and see where that takes me.
Yeah, I love that, and that's really realistic to start off with, and then building there, and that's why we're here. Trust the process, essentially. Question to you both though. What would you say is your greatest achievement so far? So Theo, what would you say is yours?
Greatest achievement in regards to football,
Or your career.
My career. I would say my greatest achievement will be when I was 15, and I got scouted by Millwall, scored in the final against Dulwich Hamlet, a hat-trick. I'll say that's my greatest achievement.
Yeah, that's great. And what about you, Chris?
I'll say as an amateur boxer, I think my main two keys are winning the nationals. So winning the national title is definitely a big one. And for me, being selected for Team GB was definitely a big one. And why I say that is you've got all these fighters across England that try their best to get on, and there's only a team of 30, 40 fighters on there. So that's definitely one of my biggest achievements as well.
Yeah, and so I admire that in terms of you guys getting to certain points where almost like landmarks, essentially, which you look back on as being a great achievement, and I'm sure you've got bigger and better aspirations than what were your greatest achievements, and that's just the mindset of you guys, driven, determined, as you even said yourself. What would you say that you want your greatest achievement to be? So imagine 20 years down the line, we look back, what do you want it to be?
To be a world champion, nothing less. I got to go for and win these world titles, man. Regardless at what weight I get to, I will become a world champion 100%.
Speak it, believe it. You just said that, and I'm just, even as we're speaking, I'm even more happy that we've both got you, because you both of yourselves, because your mindsets speak large volumes, and I'm looking forward to seeing, and I'm hoping the viewers will be looking forward to seeing your journeys and you becoming world champion. So if I throw that back to you now, what would you say you want your greatest achievement to be?
To sign a professional contract. That'll be my greatest achievement to look back at.
That'd be a crazy story as well. We've already got the Vardys, we've got the Ian Wrights.
Plenty more now, and I think even in non-league football, teams now are looking at them leagues, picking up a lot of players. So, you put the work in, have a good season, you never know.
And that's trust in the process. So if we look at you signing a professional contract, right, which is a strong ambition that you want, we slash that ambition in half, not because we don't want you to get there, but to set small steps to getting there. What would you say is part of your process to get into that first professional contract?
Definitely move up a couple leagues. Probably get an agent and stuff. And in terms of just application myself, definitely dedicate more time to training in football and stuff like that. And just full-time dedication to the full-time commitment, really. Yeah.
And that's something that hopefully we can see. I'm going to ask you a halfway in a moment, but let's find out what your halfway mark would be for you becoming world champion. What would that be?
My halfway mark is I'll have the British title and the European title. So that's halfway through, that's my mark there. And European title is definitely what I'm going for.
And so, you know, we don't want to put time on it because things never work according to our time. I'm sure you would want to be world champion now, you know what I'm saying? So, the 10 fights in, which is great. I'm going to be cheeky, as I said before, and even just give it a halfway mark now. What does that look like, James?
My halfway mark in terms of years.
No, not necessarily. But what would the process be? The halfway mark.
Okay. I think I'll say 15, 16 fights in my career. Either going for the British or maybe another sort of title, maybe like a WBC silver, gets me top 5 world ranked, and maybe that really, you just never know what can happen, especially in boxing. So,
I'll say halfway will probably be. So I've got a few trials for next season. Do well in them and hopefully get into those teams. In good leagues. So
It sounds, and what you both done, and I think it's very important in processes and setting goals and targets, so to speak, is being realistic. And it's not saying that you can't achieve it, but it's also important for you to set something that can happen soon, so you build your confidence towards that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I really want to promote. Is that yes, it's important to have our aspirations, but then it's also the most important bit really is what goes before that. The hard work that you're putting in to get your 15 fights in and to get noticed by other clubs and to even get to the point where you're getting the chance to fight. And so that's what I think is going to be really important, really encouraging for us to do is follow and see that.
Yeah.
You know, I know Theo, you ain't got social media like that, so it's going to be harder to follow you, but we can follow yourself. One thing I noticed about you, you're a big music man.
yeah, also,
Yeah. So if I went on your phone right now, who's going to be the last few artists that you've been listening to? Can I guess?
Go on.
Just from me knowing you, I feel like Dave might be up there.
100%.
Yeah. I feel like he might have a hip hop artist in there. So who's hip hop right now? I feel like Nip, maybe, potentially Nipsey Hussle, potentially. I was gonna say Geeks Revenue. So who were the 3 people?
The 3 people. One's Meat Mill.
Someone like that.
One's definitely Dave, and the other one's Gunner. I've been listening to.
Similarity. Okay, yeah. So, how much does music play in your career, like in terms of motivation and?
All the time, man. You see, Meat Mill come out with championships that got me through the cold mornings in January, the -2s and waking up 5 o'clock in the morning to run. That got me through it. In the gym, we was playing Dave's new album. So I like that album. I think to come out of the UK so far, Dave's got the best album.
Interesting. What, you mean of all time?
No, not of all time. Of recent.
Okay. We had a debate still.
I think he beats Fredo's one.
Okay.
He definitely beats Giggs' album. I believe so. But even though I feel like he's got a few bangers on his album, I just think Dave's top number 1 for me.
What I wanted to kind of get out of there is that you've got a fight coming up. We're speaking of it, you said you've got a fight. What's the date?
25th of May. I should be headlining Liverpool for an Intercontinental title. The opponent is still to be confirmed at the moment, but that's the date we're looking at.
Excellent. So hopefully we can even follow you in that process to that fight, and then hopefully we can touch base at some other point as well. And your season's nearly done that now, isn't it?
Yeah, season was done. About 5 games left. Yeah.
Okay, so we can follow you, and you're at Tudor Sports.
Yeah.
Did you hear any echoes of Theo as a baller? Obviously you went to school with him, but he was someone that when I would go football and play with him, like I'm telling you now, I don't know. Do you feel like he was a hood celebrity in the football world?
When I look back, I kind of see it, but at the time I didn't.
I was a half decent, yeah. I believe I was. But when we went to go and play, it was just like almost everything used to stop. Everyone, Theo's here. Like literally, you was a player and a half, and you said that you caught wind of that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I believe Theo was up there, one of the best talented youngsters to come out of South. Him and Liam was a good one as well.
He's a playing for, don't say, Kingston or something.
Yeah, that's
Kingston. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's literally what we have. We just really want to follow you now, essentially. Appreciate both of your times. I have to commend Kino Cinema for letting us be here, and let's sit back again, gents, and reflect on maybe what's happened in the last few months coming. But yeah, appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing everything, man. Chris, thanks for your time, man. Wicked.
Mami me quiere a mí, ella quiere sentir que lo que quiere decir. Yo te pongo a vivir, te sabes todo es para ti. Te sabes todo.